Buenas noches. It's night, and I'm here in Palencia. Con P. That's what they say, because Spanish people tend to pronounce the V very strongly. It sounds to English people like a B or. So when you say Palencia, most of the time here in Spain, they think you're saying Valencia, which they pronounce, and I'm not going to do it correctly, but they pronounce very strongly like Valencia, Valencia, instead of Va, like English people or Australian people, whom I have learnt over the years tend to butcher the English language so savagely that it's at times unrecognisable, but Spanish people will pronounce each and every letter, which I'm still yet to learn very well, but one thing I have learned is what they do is pronounce the language well. We leave letters out, we add A's, we put O's in, and we basically fuck it up every which way we can, but that's what we do. Anyway, I'm here for another little tale that I'll try to keep short. I'm not sure if I started that off with any sort of great intention, but I'm here in Palencia, Compe, and this is where we are right now. And last time I was in Virginia, I bought this beautiful Premier Acoustic guitar made in the 70s in Japan, during that great golden, era of Japanese guitar building, both electrics and acoustics. And basically this is a really good knockoff of a Martin D45. But at, let's say, a tenth of the price. I don't know what a really nice 60s or early 70s Martin D45 goes for, but goes for a lot fucking more than what I paid for this. And I'm not much in the guitar buying market these days, but well, I've got more than what I need. But what I do know is that when I bought my old SJ Deluxe Gibson, it's a 72, I bought it off Charlie at Guitar Crazy, who's no longer with us, but was always really nice to me. Charlie was always a good help and a good guy to me. But what I didn't know in the mid to late 90s, when did I buy my acoustic guitar? 97 maybe? 97. And I basically tortured Charlie for an afternoon. I went in there and he knew me because I bought guitars off him as I was growing up through the 80s and into the 90s. And I was always in there, like a little rat, sort of looking at things and trying to learn what I could off of him being a wealth of knowledge when it comes to guitar and amps. I remember torturing him one day when I bought my Gibson acoustic, going in there with a certain amount of money and telling him I was interested in buying an acoustic guitar, and I'd never really bought a good acoustic guitar before. So he pointed me in the direction of these two Gibsons that may or may not have been in my price range. When he told me what they were worth, it was two. They were both pretty much the same. And my cousin ended up buying the other one. One of them had a broken headstock that had been fixed, and one didn't. But I was probably a little bit fearless and sort of, when I picked them both up, I thought to myself that the one that had the broken headstock actually felt a little bit better to me. and my cousin being in the market to buy an acoustic guitar as well, I wasn't going to necessarily steer him towards a guitar that had a broken headstock or once had a broken headstock. So he ended up buying the other one. I bought the one with the broken headstock. But I remembered sitting in there for an afternoon with Charlie and saying to him, this is how much money I've got. And he's like, well, you can't afford it. And I'm like, but I bought guitars off you before. Surely we can make some sort of deal here. And he's like, no, I can't. I don't think I can come down that low. And I sort of suggested to him that I was going to stay in the store, walking around badly playing this guitar until he sold it to me. And he was like, well, you can do whatever you want, but it doesn't mean I'm going to sell it to you. Eventually, I think 2 or 3 hours later, he was probably sick of me trying to play, I don't know, the very few songs that I knew on acoustic guitar that might sound half decent. Probably can't play it anyway, but that's the beginnings of Norwegian Wood, or I was playing hey Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I ain't sleepy and there ain't no place that I'm going to. Song for me in your jingle jangle morning. I'll come following you. Again, badly played, but I didn't know. I had an acoustic guitar laying around the house or every now and then, but it wasn't necessarily a good one, so I wanted to buy a good one. It really taught me a lot about songwriting and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm getting off the fucking track. I bought this guitar when I was last in Virginia. Had a great deal on it. It's a beautiful Premier guitar built in the golden era of Japanese acoustic guitar building in the 60s and 70s. This is like a 73 or a 74. Sounds great. Like I said, basically a Martin D45. I bought it off a Craigslist with good and thankful help from my dear friends Steve, young Jake and Martin. Jake and Martin helped me make the deal on Craigslist because the guy was asking a certain amount, but that was pretty reasonable what he was asking. But I'm forever trying to get some sort of deal or crack some sort of barter with someone. So I offered the guy a certain amount, told him I wasn't going to be in town for very long, and he ended up taking it. Steve and Jake helped me go and retrieve it from him. So it's already helped me write a couple of songs since I've been back. I tend to think acoustic guitars, at least for me, each of them seem to have a song in them at some point, or a certain sound or a certain feel that pushes you down a certain road or something like that. But this one's already done that well. I wanted to sort of play something or attempt to play something and sing something that one of the things that sort of made me start to think that I needed to get into the acoustic world and not be just sort of driven by electric guitars and the power of the electric guitar was the Louis Tillett record called Ego Tripping at the Gates of Hell. And there's a song on, it's one of my favourite Australian records. And if you haven't heard it, I suggest you get it, go out there and get it. There's just some amazing guitar playing on there, some really great songwriting and singing and piano playing, and the band's really interesting, drumming, the bass playing. For me, it's really special and a really special time in my life for music. And this song called Dream Well. I believe it's written by my friend Penny Ikinger and Louis, who's now passed away, whom I had met a few times, but I didn't know Louis. And another great, really big influence on me was Charlie Owen, who was a guitar player for Louis, and he played in the New Christ and the Be Suburban and many other things. Catfish with Don Walker, and he was in the Divinals, and he plays with Joel Silbersher in Tendrils and with Tex Perkins, and Charlie plays with lots of people. Played with Spencer B. Jones, played with Paul Kelly. I think Paul Kelly wrote a song about him. But anyway, on that record, I really sort of started to hear what the acoustic guitar did in recorded music. Because at the time I was starting to write more and understand more about writing. So I want to say that I read somewhere that Louis heard Penny sitting around sort of playing these chords, and that's what sort of led to the song. Was like, I think I read that somewhere. I could be wrong. Maybe I'll tag Penny in here and she can tell you better the way of the song. But I thought I'd give it a crack. So if it's terrible, my apologies to Penny and Charlie and Louis, who was in the ether somewhere. But yeah, it's a really simple acoustic feel that's like very emotive, and at least for me, it was like when I used to see them play that song, it was special. Really wonderful guitar solo at the end by Charlie, and like I said, great drumming by Louis Burdett, bass playing by Lenny, whom I forget his last name, which is terrible, but I do. And just a great rhythm part that drives the song by Penny, and yeah, well, I'll give it a crack and you guys can be the judge. Enjoy. Gracias. Y... Mon vie.